lovely postcard from Virginia, from Gay in Paris. She's having great fun. Took Alice to Papin collection yesterday for her coming out ball dress.
Papin? Oh, that sounds expensive.
Yes, Alice must have beautiful dresses if she's coming out. And to the opera to see Manon Lescaut.
Lucky little girl.
Yes, isn't she? Rose a bit seasick on boat, but wreck. I can't do that, wreck something.
But recovered when we reached Calais.
Recovered when we reached Calais. Enjoys Scotland. Love to all Virginia. Oh, and it's a picture of Napoleon's tomb. Very impressive.
Poor Rose.
Mum always says that servants, like a good wine, seldom travel well.
Perhaps they will be sick on the Flying Scotsman.
God forbid.
Well, I shall be sick in the car if Edward drives too fast.
Well, think of that lovely salmon fishing when we get there.
I can't fish.
Oh, I'll teach you. Then you'll enjoy it.
It'll rain all the time.
Ah, so much better.
I'd much rather go to Deauville with Dolly.
That's like one of those musical comedies, Deauville with Dolly.
You don't have to come, Georgina. I just think it'd be a pity not to. Connaught is a wonderful place. The sons will have a change. Plenty of good fresh air. Do you good. You look pale.
Yeah, no telephones ringing, no traffic or anything, a chance to fish and stalk and climb the rocks.
Or hire a bicycle and ride into Inverness to the cinema.
70 miles over a rough road.
Oh, is it?
You take a good book to read.
Can I take my gramophone?
Anything to make you happy.
Well, you can't stay here anyway. We're shutting out the house.
All right. When do we leave?
His Lordship, the Major and Miss Georgina will be leaving by car early tomorrow morning. Edward, I trust you have studied the route from your map.
Well, yes, Miss Hudson. Straight up the Great North Road to Edinburgh.
Turn left for Inverness.
Don't worry, Miss Hudson. I shan't get lost.
Since you're breaking the journey at Alnwick Castle tomorrow night, Edward, you may convey my personal regards to Mr. Harrison, the Duke of Northumberland's butler.
Yes, Miss Hudson.
The remainder of the staff, Ruby, will remain behind to close up the house and travel up by the night train to Inverness.
I don't like this idea of sleeping on a train. Never have, ever since the Tay Bridge disaster when I was a girl.
Oh, I think you'll find it quite safe nowadays, Mrs. Bridges.
It'll be extra nice for you going up there, won't it, Mr. Hudson, you being Scotch?
Scots, if you please, Daisy. Indeed it will. I shall be returning to the land of my forefathers.
I've seen pictures of the Highlands on biscuit tins. It's all purple heather and people playing bagpipes.
That's right, men wearing kilts and showing their knees.
Aye, the Highlands of Scotland are glorious indeed. And you can all count yourselves privileged to be visiting such a paradise on earth. over there. Oh, good day, Mrs. You are expecting us, I think, Lord Bellamy's party. Lord Berkhamsted has lent this lodge to Lord Bellamy for 10 days.
The landlord's letter arrived by the mailboat this morning. Mackay and myself had no warning of you.
Oh.
Well, I hope they don't expect me to cook their dinner on that thing.
Oh, this is Mrs. Bridges, our cook. It's Mrs. Mackay, I believe. Well, I'll leave you ladies to the kitchen arrangements. Excuse me.
Mr. Hudson, the luggage freight's come and the man wants to know which rooms to put the trunks in.
Very well, Daisy, I'll see to it.
Oh, it's damp in here, isn't it? Don't you think there ought to be a fire lit?
There should be, Daisy. Unfortunately, the wood box is empty. It would appear that due notice was not received of our arrival by the gilly and his good wife until this morning.
Oh, what's happened, Ruby?
What's the matter, Gettle?
It's a dead bird in larder.
Oh, well, it won't bite you, Ruby. It's just a wee grouse. Last year's by the smell of it.
Well, the larder has not been touched since last season's shooting party left. Give it to me, I'll burn it.
There now, we must all get our coats off, roll up our sleeves and set to work. His Lordship the Major and Mr. Gina will be here shortly. The place must be made as clean and comfortable as possible before they arrive. Daisy, switch the light on if you please. Is the electricity not connected, Mrs. Mackay?
But the generator's broken. You'll need to be using oil lamps for the time being.
Hudson thought we'd be warmer dining down here in front of the fire.
The dining room was on the first floor, my lord, and somewhat chilly out here.
Well, it's none too warm in here. What's the matter with the fire, Hudson?
There were no dry logs to be found, sir, and tough takes a wee while to burn up.
Tough?
Peat, my lord.
Good heavens. What's this, Hudson?
I fear we omitted to bring up any sherry from London, my lord. I would have borrowed a bottle and replaced it later. However, Mrs. Mackay seems unable to supply the key of the wine cellar.
Quite right. We can't use theirs. Oh, well, I suppose a glass of whiskey before dinner will do for Scotland. Georgina?
I hate whiskey.
Oh, we better have a wee dram. It'll help warm me up.
Are we completely marooned here?
Marooned? Well, it's quite a long drive back over the mountain. Are there any other means of communication, Hudson?
I'm informed there's a steamer from Oban to Stornoway, my lord. It calls here once a week.
Once a week?
To bring the mail and collect goods and an occasional passenger.
I see.
We're marooned.
Oh, rather fun.
I hope our wines travel well.
I thought I would leave it to settle, my lord. There was a spare bottle of champagne in the picnic basket, if you would care to have that open for dinner.
Good idea, Hudson. And what's Mrs. Bridges going to produce for us? We're all hungry.
I'm afraid the grocery order we've sent on ahead has not arrived yet, my lord. Mrs. Bridges has been obliged to depend on whatever tinned goods she can find in the store cupboard.
I'm sure you'll all do your best, Hudson. Well, it won't hurt us to rough it a bit for one night, eh?
Well, I hope I never have to serve up another dinner like that. It's a shame to see it go out of the kitchen. If you can call this place a kitchen.
Oh, never mind, Mrs. Bridges. From tomorrow onwards, we shall be serving them and ourselves with some good fresh trout from the sea loch and salmon from the river.
Listen. Can you hear something?
That's only the wind, Edward.
No, there's someone out there, I'm sure of it.
Oh, Mr. Hudson.
There is someone there.
You will be Lord Bellamy's household, no doubt.
That is correct. And who might you be?
I am Roderick Mackay, head gilly to Lord Berkhamsted.
Oh, good evening to you.
We were not informed of your visit in time. Nothing is ready. You will be wise to pack your trunks and return to London.
I'm sorry, but I don't think Lord Bellamy is considering any such thing.
It will not be comfortable here. You may go and tell his lordship that from me.
I certainly will not.
Ruby, It's your bedtime.
Oh, no. Couldn't go yet, Mrs. Bridges. Not by myself. This house gives me the creeps.
Nonsense, girl.
No, no, the wee lass is right. This old lodge has seen some history, I can tell you.
Has it indeed?
The first laird of Carnockie fought at the Battle of Culloden.
That was between the Scots and the English, wasn't it?
It was the last stand of the Highlanders, Edward, against the Hanoverian King George.
And a tragic day for Scotland. The laird himself was grievously wounded in the battle, and they say that his servant and his piper lifted him bleeding from a severed arm and placed him on a crofter's handcart and wheeled him over the mountain yonder to this very house to escape from Cumberland's men. And they hid him in an attic, but he died here of his wounds. And they took him out at dead of night and buried him secretly to a piper's lament, some spot on the hill nearby, deep in the heather. But to this very day, no one knows where. The only thing certain is that the laird himself returns here from time to time of a dark night for those who can hear him groaning from the pain of his terrible wounds as he lies, pale and bleeding on the handcart, the very handcart that carried him here from the field of Culloden. God rest his soul. I will away now to my dwelling. I bid you all a very good night.
Two no trumps.
No bed.
No bed.
Do you pep and dummy?
Bother, James, why couldn't you call?
No, no, wait a minute. Father's got to leave before he sees what Dummy's got.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, no bed with that. Spade led.
I know, I haven't got one.
Well, then why on earth did you call no trumps?
Oh, I don't know. I hate three-handed bridge. It's such a boring game.
Come on, Georgina, cheer
I
up.
don't want to cheer up. I hate this beastly house, and I'm sure it hates us.
Never mind. Tomorrow we go down the river and try for a salmon. That'll put the roses back in your cheeks.
Wretched weather.
Oh, it'll clear up soon. What do you say, Hudson?
Oh, I hope so, my lord.
I thought there was supposed to be a marvellous view of the island of Skye.
I'm sure there will be as soon as the mist rises. Well, I'm going to the library to write some letters.
Does it ever stop raining in Scotland, Hudson?
On occasions, miss.
What are you doing, James?
Tying a fly. Make one yourself, it's a good one. That's right, isn't it, Hudson? That's a pretty colour, isn't it?
Much too pretty to waste on a silly old fish.
Yes, well, that one's shop made. You wait till you see this one that I'm making. Blue Charm. What do you think, Hudson?
Oh, a very good choice, sir.
I've given it 3 or 4 terms of oval silver tag. I've already tied in the silver ribbing.
Sounds more like dressmaking.
Now, I'm going to tie in the golden pheasant tail. All right, Hudson?
Oh, very good, sir.
Hudson taught me to do this when I was 10 years old. His father was the best gillie in Argyllshire. Hudson takes after him.
No, I'd not say that, sir. But you were always a very apt pupil.
Right, now I've used a heavy hook. What do you think, Hudson?
Fine, sir, fine. I would say there'll be a fair spit of water after this rain. So you're right to add a wee bit of weight.
Don't smooth out the feathers.
Leave them untidy.
What an extraordinary collection of books. Clearances in the Scottish Highlands. What do you suppose that's about?
No idea. Why don't you read it and see? There's nothing else to do till it stops raining.
No, I agree.
What's that? Sounds like thunder.
Sound more like gunfire to me.
Is that old battle still going on? Club or whatever it's called, where the old laird was wounded.
Don't say that, Daisy. Did you not pump up the water? Hasn't Mackay told you? It needs to be pumped up night and morning, and in between if anyone takes a bath. You need to prime it. It's not been in use for a wee while. And don't be letting the tank run dry with the stove lit, or you'll be having an explosion.
The head gillie is here, sir. His lordship thought you would like to see him.
Ah, good, good. Come in, Mackay, isn't it?
It is?
Yes, well, the weather seems to be clearing up a bit. Well, I just wanted to talk to you about the fishing.
The fishing.
Yes, I've got to go out and try for a salmon as soon as I can.
You will be wasting your time.
What?
Did not Lord Berkhamsted warn you that ours is a lake river?
No, he didn't. Lord Berkhamsted told my father there'd be plenty of fish.
Then your father was misinformed. It will not be worth your while to unpack a rod. You can take it from me. There will be no fish in the river to speak of.
That's absurd.
There will be no fish in the river now.
Damn it! Come all the way up from London, especially for the salmon fishing, and you say there are no fish. Can't shoot yet and we don't stalk, so what the hell is there to do in this place?
There are some good walks and some fine scenery.
I came here for the fishing.
That as may be, but I can only repeat, there will be no sport hereabouts. And that is a fact, no matter how fine the weather is at this time of the year.
Damn. I mean, why weren't we told, eh? Father's been had for a mug. Now the sun's coming out, just when the day is nearly over.
Why don't you go for a good walk and enjoy the fine scenery?
Now, come on. Stop reading. We'll both go take some air. No, it'll do you good. We'll walk up in the deer forest and you can pick some heather or
Jane,
something.
I don't want to walk up
Rubbish,
in the
you're dealing with the roses in your cheeks. It's far too pale. Come on, off we go.
What you got there, Daisy?
There's a tablecloth from the cupboard, Mr. Hudson. It's one of those clean enough, but it's all moth-eaten. Look.
Now, then it must not be used.
But I've got to lay for tea in the dining
Your
room.
tea can be served on a tray in the sitting room as soon as the Major and Mr. Gino get back from their walk.
Oh, we'll see. You're going out?
I am, Daisy, for a wee donder. It's cleared up nicely.
Where's Mrs. Bridges?
She's gone out for a nap. I've got to call her with a cup of tea at 4.
I don't know.
What?
That lot, you and I are going to see the islands of Scotland at this rate. We might just as well have stopped in London.
Well, I don't mind. I don't like it here, do you?
I might if I got a chance to stick my nose out the door.
I could do with a big tea now.
Oh, don't change the subject, James. You can't deny we treated them abominably. That's why they hate us now.
Jealousy.
It's not. The English landlords drove thousands of simple Highland crofters off their land just so they could have enough room for their sheep to graze. It was wicked.
Yeah, your book's prejudice. I bet it was written by a Scot. Always going on about the English, the bloody people. They're gloomy, dour and rude. We've really got to look at that fellow Mackay.
Well, I'm not surprised. He's rude. He's put out because he wasn't told in time that we were coming. That woman up at the cairn was polite enough and her children were very sweet. Though I think the Highland people are quite charming. They're simple, romantic and honest.
Ah, here's Hudson with our tea right on time.
Shall I serve it now, miss, and not wait for his lordship?
Ah, where is he?
Up in his room, sir, having a wee lie down.
Oh, just leave it there.
Very good, sir.
I say, Hudson.
Sir?
What do you make of that Gilly?
Mackay, sir?
Yes, he seemed damn gloomy about the fishing prospects. I wonder what you thought about it. Well, about him, I mean. A curious sort of chap, I thought, didn't you?
Mackay is the head gillie here, sir. Born and bred in these parts, I believe. I would not seek to question his knowledge of the local river.
No, I suppose not.
Sir.
But romantic sort of place, don't you think?
Oh, yes, I feel very different here. It's so quiet and dreamy and beautiful. And the air is so fresh and cool.
The sort of place where people fall in love.
Oh, yes, definitely.
All of a sudden you realise how much in love they are. Have they not had time to think about things?
Yes. I could easily fall in love in the Highlands.
Well, look at you two. Suffocating indoors over a fire on an evening like this.
Uncle Richard, we've been for a long walk.
Well, you've been snoring upstairs in your room. Do you want some tea to wake you up?
Yes, please, I'd love a cup.
Did you have a nice nap?
Oh, yes, most refreshing. Goodness, I must be more tired than I thought I was. I slept like a child.
Yeah. You need a good rest, Uncle Richard. This is certainly the place for it. No politics, no speeches.
Yes. This place is so relaxing, I wonder if nothing ever gets done in this part of the world. Because the answer is that nothing ever does get done. Nobody shouts or plots or schemes or argues. They just get on with their honest, simple lives.
That's right.
We Londoners can learn a lot from these people. How not to hurry. How to enjoy life while you can.
Weigh and draw Major Bellamy's bath, Edward, and then you can pump the water up.
Yes, Mr. Right.
Miss Georgina will have her bath before she goes to bed.
Mr. Hudson, do you think that water tank would have started rumbling during night?
I hardly think so, Ruby. No one would have been drawing hot water during the night hours. Why do you ask?
Well, I thought I had a sort of rumbling noise last night when I was in my bed and I was scared.
Oh, you'd hear anything.
Probably the wounded lad on his handcart, Ruby, coming to drag you down into his unknown grave.
I don't care, I did hear it, and it sounded just like cartwheels outside my window.
This letter for you in his room.
Thank you, Hudson.
Good morning. Thought I'd better come see you safely off. Sorry James won't be with you. He's gone to London.
London?
Yes, he put a note under my door. Apparently he suddenly remembered he promised to play in a polo match. As we're leaving in a few days anyway, he thought it seemed a pity to miss it.
How did he go?
He hoped to get a lift in the fishing boat to Oban and catch a train from there.
We're all ready then. Daisy, did you check Miss Georgina's room to make sure she left nothing behind? We don't want to give Mrs. Mackay the trouble of sending on anything after us.
Well, I had a good look round, Mr. Hudson. I already said to tell you that he pumped up first thing this morning, but he didn't have time to pump up again after his lordship's bath.
Oh, it's no trouble. We always have a boy from the village to pump up the water, but I thought as your husband was here, he might as well do it.
You will send on any letters, Mrs. Mackay?
I will.
Thank you.
Ruby, you forgot to wash up them cups.
I'll do them after you've gone. I have to close the house up anyway. It'll be a long day before there's anyone here again. Except for the old laird, of course. Poor lost soul.
Did you ever see him?
I've never seen him, nor heard him. But I've known he was here.
I have put the hamper of fish in the taxi.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Mackay.
I would keep it in the carriage with you. I have known salmon be taken from the guard's van before now.
Is that a fact? These poachers get everywhere.
They do indeed.
Ruby, have you got your gloves?
Oh, no, I left them in my room.
Oh, well, go and fetch them and hurry up.
Goodbye, Mr. Hudson. If you come up here again, give me plenty of notice. And I will make sure that your gentleman has some fine sport.
Thank you, Mr. Mackay. But I doubt if we'll be back.
Mr. Hudson, you coming in? Your tea's getting cold.
Yes, I'm just coming, Daisy.
It's a funny feeling being back here again, isn't it? Seems all different somehow.
Well, it is different, Daisy.
Well, it's better in London. There's no ghost in Eton Place.
Oh, hello, you all here then?
When did you get back?
Oh, about half an hour ago, being putting the car away.
I trust you had an uneventful journey, Edward.
Oh, yes, thanks, Mr. Hudson. Interesting one. His lordship decided to stop for lunch in Doncaster, and we saw a coal mine in the distance. You look like that, Ruby. It remind you of home.
Yes, well, we're all home again now. So you can go upstairs, Ruby, and change your clothes, and then when you come down, we'll start to get supper for them upstairs.
Yes, Mrs. Bridge.
Have you had any tea, Edward?
Oh, yes, thanks, Mr. Hudson. I had mine on the way down.
Then take Daisy over to the flat and get yourselves unpacked. There's work to do.
Yes, Mr. Hudson. Come on, love, back to the grind. Any idea where the Major is, Mr. Hudson?
The Major? No, why?
Well, he's not in the house, and there's no luggage in his room.
Oh, he wouldn't have wished to return to an empty house, Edward. He'll be staying at his club, no doubt, pending the family's return.
I see.
Well, I must say, Mr. Hudson, it was very nice for us all to have a change in Scotland, and I don't mean no disrespect to the country of your origins. It is nice to be home again.
Aye, it is.
Mind you, when we first got to Connaught, I thought it was going to be dreadful. What with that terrible stove, and no proper electric light, and the rain, and the Major being in a bad temper about the fishing, and those funny Mackay people.
Aye, the Highlands take a wee time to get used to. And the Highlanders themselves. You need to be a Scot to know a Scot. After a while, I came to know a wee thing about Roderick Mackay and his ways, and that made all the difference. Still, as you say, it's good to be home in Eton Place. Here, at least, we know where we are. Eh, Kate?
We do, Angus.
Yes? I see. Thank you. Well, that's very odd. He hasn't been to his club.
Where can he be?
Staying with friends, I suppose. But I think he might have let us know.
I wish he'd hurry up and come home. I want to give him this.
What's it?
An eagle's feather. I want to give it to him as a memento of... As a memento.
Of our holiday, eh? Well, I enjoyed it very much. But I think next time I'm going to rent a house. See that it's properly equipped. A telegram for you, my lord. Good. It'll be from her ladyship giving her time.